Welcome to episode 9 of At Home with the Warriors. Tonight we're joined by Jess Roque. She's our new head coach of the women's basketball program. Jess comes over from Ryerson, where she spent 4 years as the full-time assistant coach. The lead assistant coach. And congrats, Jess, and welcome to the Black and Gold, over to the Warriors. I guess just off the top, how excited are you to be a Warrior, and how long as a head coaching job in a U Sports role been on your radar?
Well, thanks, Dan. Go Black, go Gold.
That's right.
Got my black on today, but I'm waiting for the school to open again to really deck out my wardrobe in Warriors gear. So, but yeah, I think for in terms of hunting head coaching positions, been on my radar for the past couple of years now. Just in working with Carly for as long as I did at Ryerson. It's been a goal of mine to at least put my name out there, and I think Ryerson was great, and every year I got more and more opportunities to explore what the running the helm looked like, whether it was Carly stepping away for national team responsibilities, or we took our crew to Taiwan one summer. I think it's something I've been eyeing, something I've obviously been preparing for up until now. But when the position became available, it was kind of like a no-brainer, and we knew it was a good situation to step into, and now I'm here.
Awesome. What are some important tips and aspects that you learned in your time at Ryerson that you're going to carry over to your head coaching role with the Warriors?
There's so many. It's hard to pick one, but I think I guess the one that sticks out to me the most is creating safe environments. And with all the things that are going on now with Corona and the social injustices in the States and in our front door essentially.
Totally.
I think it's important to like I said, create those environments, and how we go about those things. I think with love and with care is something I learned over the years, but it just became more relevant in the past, short little while now. And that's something I definitely hope to carry over to the team, just so that we can be successful as a group, but also that our team can be successful, beyond their years of playing, because I think we're seeing now a little more to life than just the sports, but anytime we can use the sports as a means of connection, I think can be valuable as well.
Kind of on top of that question, what's kind of your coaching philosophy? What's what are you going to preach? Is it hard work, attitude, skill? What do you look for in a player, and what do you preach as a coach?
For me, it really comes down to intent, but intent through action. I think a lot of times people feel they mean well, but then aren't able to follow through. And I think sport is a great practice of just that. And it's how I kind of coach. I like to be as open and honest as possible. And that being said, I know I have work to prove as well, as a coach. So I don't want to just talk a good game. I want to execute a good game as well, and that's what I want for the players as well. For sure.
You obviously touched on this too. You're coming in a pretty unique time, and what's going on in our world. Is that going to change? Does that change your approach? Obviously, with the recent announcement of no sport this fall, how are you going to prepare for a 2021 season? Hopefully we get going in January. Is your approach change, or is it relatively going to be the same?
I don't know if it will change, Dan, because it's my first go at it, right?
Yeah, good point.
So there's no change. This is the norm. No, I think in terms of preparation, I would be lying if I said that the way we prepare doesn't change, because it's significantly different. And I think we just have to be more patient, more creative, like for me. So, what that looks like, it will be largely dependent on what we're permitted to do.
Yeah.
Um, if status quo continues, then we'll continue to, grow our bodies physically through our, strength and conditioning workouts, and then continue to build our team just by connecting through Zoom calls like this.
Yeah, for sure. What prior knowledge do you have of the Warriors? Obviously, you guys were at Ryerson. You're a different conference than the Waterloo, so you didn't see them as much as some of the teams you would have seen out east. But what do you know about the team? Do you have any prior relationships or engagements with any players on the team? And what do you know about what do you know about your new team?
Yeah. Well, after the meetings this week, I know a lot, but I'm just scraping the surface. But
Yeah.
no, we actually, a couple of the girls on the team I know just from, recruiting days at Ryerson, and and just being familiar with the high school level club basketball out here. I know the alumni is strong, really strong. Like I think that's, aside from like meeting the team, that's the part I get most excited about as well.
Yeah.
Just because it's so great to, have this almost sisterhood of women that have had a shared experience, and can give back to our immediate team and immediate community, I think is exciting. I also know how academically based the university is, which is an easy tell when I talk to the girls this week. Like, few of them are in, or not a few of them, many of them are in summer classes, and I think just the promptness of even how they respond to text messages. It's like, oh, I know these girls are getting their assignments in on time.
Yeah.
Smart
group.
Yeah. What else? I guess I know some, like, I'll say like Waterloo, like OGs of the basketball community, and who have like served, even as coaches through time in, like Craig Nickel, and Mano Watsa. Like, those guys are guys that were around when I used to play. And so to see just their involvement and I think support for the university still is encouraging. And I'm sure there's more people that I'm not even aware of right now, but my sense of UW and basketball, and I'll even say Kitchener, Waterloo and basketball is really strong. And years ago, the girls basketball tournaments were held in Kitchener, and so
Cool.
I think I see the area as like a basketball town and very much a college town. And again, just like more things for me to be excited about in taking over the program there.
Cool. Any expectations, goals for this? Is assuming we have a season this year, next year, and let's look ahead to 5 years. What's your progression of goals there?
Win.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's the easy one to say, but I think more than anything, like, to me, in a lot of ways, the program is winning because of the support already. But where I'd like to see it grow is, I'd like to be, like a provincial, if not national, household name within the next 3-4 years. But I know that starts with even smaller goals. And I think my first priority is just like, how can we get our team connected during COVID? But I think even beyond that, to the year, like, my expectations for the year are just to be a better team than we were the week before. And I really, really believe in keeping things, process focused as opposed to outcomes. And I know I opened with wins, but I think when you stay process focused, those things tend to fall in place.
Cool.
So I'm really just intently focusing on how connected can our team get in these troubling times, and then build from there. Those are my only expectations, is that
Okay.
we can do
You,
that.
you heard it here first. OUA champs 2024. All right. Perfect.
Yep.
Let's switching gears here to your playing days and your university career. You obviously had quite the playing career at the Cleveland State University, leading the Vikings to a pair of Horizon League championships and NCAA tournament appearances. How did your playing days prepare you for your coaching journey, and now obviously a head coaching role?
Yeah, I draw a lot on my playing experience. I think it's a neat thing to share because in a lot of ways I never left university. I always somehow managed to stay a part of sports and specifically university sports. Um, but I think it's shaped me in a lot of ways. Um, I'd always tell our girls at Ryerson when I was there that, you guys are lucky. I didn't have this type of experience when I was an athlete. And they're like, what are you talking about? Like,
Yeah.
you had your school paid for, like you had your handheld, you were, like a full ride is, you think the dream. And not to knock my experience, but it's just, I think, and this was something I learned in coming back home to Canada to coach and work, with how much more equipped our student athletes are for the real world. Like a lot of the girls on the team now, they have summer jobs and will keep jobs throughout the year.
Right.
Some, live off campus and have to pay rent. Some got to go home on weekends. Some are in really difficult and challenging engineering programs and have co-ops every other semester. And then coupled with basketball, coupled with workouts, coupled with, time to breathe, is I think a huge challenge. And that wasn't my experience as a student athlete. And not that I didn't have struggles, but I think we definitely in Canada do a service to our student athletes when we are able to provide them with this like plethora of experiences that they can get in a safe environment, and then continue that network, beyond their graduation.
Totally.
So it's kind of a long-winded answer, but I always draw on my just, I guess, the things that I didn't have and try to like give that to the program that I'm in. But I also think obviously the playing experience gives me a little bit of street cred with the girls when we're
Totally.
on court. And I think sometimes like how I actually played, the story tends to change. It's like the fish that gets bigger and bigger, right? With every time you tell the story, it's like, yeah, I was like a leading scorer. I like whatever the point I'm trying to drive, I was that.
Yeah, exactly.
But then they're like, no, Jess, we looked up your stats. Like you didn't really shoot it like that. And it's like, oh, are you sure? Oh.
It sounds like you were quite the three-ball shooter, though.
Yeah, I shot a lot of threes. The 3-point line was not where the FIBA line is, so
Oh, okay.
I tend to like put a little asterisk
Oh,
beside that.
whatever.
But no, I mean, I guess like essentially that was my first time in like a leadership position because we at Cleveland State we were in a position where um, the program wasn't very good, and so we were coming into. I say we, my sister. I have a twin sister, so her and
Oh,
I
cool.
went to Cleveland State together. And she's actually a UW Farm alum, so shout out to all the Farm Ds from UW.
Cool.
But yeah, her and I played together, and we came into a situation where the culture was like not good,
Oh,
and
yeah.
in a matter of like 3 years, we were able to go to the NCAA tournament twice.
Yeah.
And so I plan to heavily use that experience in terms of like how quickly can we turn around this Warriors program.
Totally. You talk about Waterloo being quite the academic institution. Well, You had quite the academic accolades too here with a Bachelor of Science and a Master's of Education in Exercise Science. I mean, there's a lot of different paths you could have gone with that degree. So what led you down the path of coaching?
All right, this is my favorite story, Dan.
Okay, good. I'm glad I asked this question.
No, some people don't know this about me. I actually, so when I signed to Cleveland State, I did a Bachelor's of Science in Health Science because that was the pre-track for, it was that was what you took when you wanted to go to physio. That
Okay.
was the pre-therapy track. And so I'm like, I always, like, I had 2 knee surgeries in high school. I tore both my ACLs and spent a lot of time in a physio clinic. So that's where that drive kind of came from. So I go all throughout my undergrad and then I apply for physio school. I don't get into any programs at home or in the States. And then my coach is like, well, stay on as a grad assistant and you can do your master's. And in Canada, if you like redo your master's, you get a whole new application for the physio programs.
Okay.
So I do that. I graduate with honors, and then I finally get into 2 programs. I get into a program I won't name in Ontario,
Okay.
and then CSU. Needless to say, I come home because it's cheaper and the program is shorter, and I can be home.
Right.
And so I'm going through physio school, and I'm like, I'm gonna be a physio. I'm gonna be a physio. Well, I get like 5/6 of the way through the program, and I end up flunking out of the program. And you're like, why is this your favorite story, Jess? But I flunk out of the program, and I'm having this like early midlife crisis. Like, oh no, like I put all my eggs in this bucket to be a physio,
Exactly.
and now it's not happening. Like, now what? And the same week that happened, I got a call from my ex-coach being like, hey, like, you were a grad assistant for us once. I have an opening on my staff. Would love to fill it with you.
Cool.
And I was like, funny you should ask. I'm not doing anything right now. And I
I'm
kind of
wide
just like
open.
leapt at the opportunity. And I know it sounds like a very, I'll say, like, opportunistic story, but I really think, um, I mean, I didn't have it. It was a no-brainer for me in the moment, but the choice to get into coaching, I think, was always there. I just didn't know it. And I think I had to like pursue something else for me, and I had to fail at something else for me to like realize that um, that was something that I would be even interested in, because I had always said, I'll never coach, I'll never coach. And then I get thrusted into coaching. And then I just really fell in love with it. Like I started reliving, the old glory days, and then realizing how much I could impact people, just by rebounding a ball for them. And then it kind of just took off from there. And then I ended back home at Ryerson, and now I'm at Waterloo.
Yeah. Funny how that works, eh? Meant to
Yeah,
be.
meant to be. Decorated academics can turn into careers, even
Absolutely.
failed academics.
Absolutely. Well, fortunate for us, and we're glad to have you.
Hmm.
I guess this last, is there anyone you want to kind of thank for your journey or give a shout out to?
Oh yeah, there's so many. I mean, I think I've thanked obviously the people at Ryerson, and I don't think I can thank them enough for giving me my start in the OUA and in Canada. Um, I would say every previous coach I've ever had, I know when I got the position with Waterloo, they were one of the first people I called. Um, I want to thank the hiring committee, because I think it's not an easy task to do something like this, during a pandemic. And I think, like, specifically Rolly and Brian were just so patient through all of it, and keeping me informed. And I'm super, super grateful, for them. And thank my family for supporting me through the
Nice.
years. Um, and thank the athletes that I've coached, because I wouldn't be the type of coach I am if they didn't allow me to let them be coached. So.
And what's do you have a plan are you going to move down this way, or you're in Toronto right now?
I'm in Toronto right now.
Okay.
For the summer, the plan is to move out to K-Dub by the end of the summer. So I'm looking for places. If anyone wants to make recommendations, I'm very open to them.
Sounds good. Well, I've got a good realtor if you need a realtor.
For sure. Great. Sounds great, Dan.
Awesome. Well, thanks for doing this. Welcome aboard. We look forward to working with you, and hopefully we can get back on that new gym floor sooner rather than later.
Yes, I'm so excited for that. You have no idea.
Yeah, you're coming in.
We'll christen it in the best way possible. I promise.
Okay, perfect. With a win on opening night, right?
With a win on opening night.
Perfect.
Keep me to it.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thanks, Jess. I appreciate you doing this.
Appreciate you, Dan.
Yeah, talk to you soon.
Take care.